Hi guys, a couple of weeks ago I reached 2,000 likes on my Facebook page, and that for me is huge. So thank you very much for that. I hope I'll do you proud in 2016. So please keep supporting me. It means the world. To celebrate these 2,000 likes, I decided to do something a bit different than what I usually do. And by that I mean a video. Usually I post a silly picture. I also did that. But this time around I wanted to mark it a little bit better. So I decided to do an Ask Me Anything video, which is this video. And I asked my following on Twitter and Facebook to hashtag the question with Ask Chikara, and they did. First question is from Martin on Twitter. What was the anime, comic, cartoon that cemented your love for the nerddom? So I've been thinking about this question for quite some time. Since I got it, really. And I honestly cannot pinpoint the exact time where I became a nerd. It sort of just happened. I started reading Dragon Ball because one of my friends had the Dragon Ball series, and so I read that. And when that was over, I had to find something else, so I started reading Witch and Ranma. And then I found AMVs of Tokyo Mew Mew and watched that, and from there AMVs of Naruto. And I think that was really when I became a nerd in the true sense of the word. Like actual, like we had dial-up back then and limited internet, and I used everything for like 3 months for the sole purpose of catching up to Naruto. Oh man, I waited hours for like episodes to load, and I don't think you do that if you're not a proper nerd, I guess. I don't know. It's sort of a gradual, like, increasing curve that sort of, you know, at one point I was a nerd and I knew that there was no way out. So I hope that answers your question, because it's a really bad answer, but Martin also asked me if there is a costume that I dream of doing but feel limited by funds, time, skills, and cake. And to that I can only say yes. There is a bunch of costumes that I want to do because they're amazing, the characters are amazing, the design is really cool. You name it, I probably have some costume that will fit your description, but that I haven't done for one reason or the other. And it's funny that you mentioned cake, because actually there is a couple costumes that I simply don't feel comfortable with my body yet to do. One of them is, I know that I did Yoko before, but I also gained weight since I did Yoko before. But one of them is the space version Yoko with the white cape and stuff. I feel like with that design your body really needs to be able to own it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, cake is also a reason, but I have plenty more. Robert asked me if I was going to Confucian next May, and my answer to you is yes! At least I really want to, so if money will let me go, I will definitely be there. Bara asked, what was your favorite con / cosplay experience, one abroad and one in Denmark? I have a really hard time choosing this one because I have gone to a bunch of conventions that means the world to me. Honestly, the memories that I make at conventions are probably like, what, 75% of my fondest memories. So it's a really hard question. I think I would have, for my abroad con, I would have to pick either BansaiCon or KawaiiCon, because at KawaiiCon we got to perform with an amazing group of Danish, Norwegian and Swedish people. That in itself was a huge accomplishment for me, but also I feel like doing something that big with your friends is really rewarding. I feel like I learned a lot from that experience, and I feel like being able to join my really good friends in one of their dream cosplays really, I don't know, it resonated with my soul, and that felt really good. But also, which is both for BansaiCon and KawaiiCon, Norwegian people are awesome! At BansaiCon this year, me and Sooms got to perform, and doing a performance with her have been on my to-do list forever. So that coming true was definitely nice. I'm still waiting for the video of that so I can see how I actually did. If any of you was there, please let me know how it went, because I don't know. But it felt good when we came down, and it was a really nice trip. It was me, Sooms, and Kami that took the trip up and hung out, and in general it was really nice, and I felt like us three girls got a little closer because of that, so that means a lot to me as well. For the Denmark convention, I would either say last year's Genki, where I qualified for the NCC, or like the last SVS Con. Julie asked me what skill in regards of crafting / sewing, if any, do you want to improve? I would like to improve on my basically non-existent Worbla skills. I have worked very, very, very little with Worbla or thermoplastics or anything to do with props or non-sewing in general. I haven't done much of. And I feel a little bit bad about that because it limits me a lot in the costumes that I usually choose, because with studying and my 2 jobs, it's a little hard to always find the time to really explore new materials. But I feel like that's one of the things that I want to try in the new year. I should probably also finish my Miss Fortune guns, which is the exactly same reason why I haven't done that. I'm simply not very good. Yeah. Olivia asked me to share my most funny / laughable / embarrassing cosplay moments. I honestly do not remember what costume I was wearing, but I do remember me sewing my butt. Both that was Sakiso, but like getting sewed into a costume is a really strange experience, because you just stand there and you have no idea what the other person is doing, and you just beg and hope that you don't poke you so that you don't bleed all over your costume, because that would be horrible, because they're like, you need to get everything off that you just got sewed into if that happens, to actually clean it so that it doesn't, you know, dry and stain. But you know, also having somebody that close to your butt that you're not sort of that kind of intimate with is a fun experience. Luckily I'm not that, like, my personal sphere is not that big, but still it's really close to my butt when it's like right above the crack. Nerdy at Actually Nerdy on Twitter asked me the best and worst thing about cosplaying, what that is. I think the best is probably when you finish a costume and you're able to show your friends what you've accomplished this time, but also being able to see them and hang out with them and be sort of on the same mental vibe as your peers are probably the best thing about cosplaying. I don't know any hobby that has given so many people a place to belong. I feel like a lot of cosplayers didn't really have a place where they felt like they were a part of where they belonged, where they had found themselves. And I feel like cosplay have given that to a lot of people, myself included. So I think that's probably the best thing about cosplay. And the worst thing, stressing the night before the con with a costume that you really, really want to finish because it's like all the feels, but you actually know that it's quite impossible because, yeah, I've stayed up till 5 a lot of times where I've just passed out on my sewing machine. It's not fun. It's really not fun. And the weeks up to that point, you're usually also stressing, but you just don't work because why would you work? But that's also a personality trait, so I could probably change that for me. Let me find the Facebook questions. So Juan asked me on Facebook what my favorite costume was and if I have any future costume planned. I think my favorite costume right now is probably my Sakiso, simply because it's the biggest one I've done. It's sadly also not very comfortable and it takes a lot of time to get into and so on and so forth. So a good rival for that costume is probably my Sailor Jupiter, simply because it's comfortable as balls. For 2016, I've planned a bunch of costumes already. I'm almost done with Naruto. I'm also doing Cinderella. I've also planned a Claymore costume for this summer. And in my heart, I want to do some Love Live costumes as well. Other than that, I feel like I should let 2016 be the year of the feels. So no big costumes that I don't really feel for. I'm looking at my musketeer. I want to make 2016 a little bit of a relaxed year for me. Sasu asked me where my cosplay names come from and what my favorite part of making a cosplay is. My cosplay name is actually very, very old. I used to go by, I still go by, Chikarates on DeviantArt. So I sort of kept that and just changed it into Chikara Cosplay, and I am Chikara. Basically what you need to know is that Chikara means power or strength, and when I was going through a rough time in my early teen years, I felt like that resonated with me a lot because I had to keep strong for myself, and even if I didn't have anybody to help me get back up when things were tough, and like I had my family, but not like a friend, like a confidant. I didn't have that. And I feel like Chikara and watching anime and, you know, watching all these powerful and independent characters, it helped me a lot, and I kept it. I've tried to keep strong and upright and with a lifted head. I've tried to keep looking forward and keep moving forward since then, so I still feel like that name that I gave myself is fitting, and yeah, so Chikara means power and strength, and I want to keep strong for me and for my friends and do what I love and what I care about, and that's all there really is to that. I'm strong. Deep meaning is deep. My favorite part of making a costume is really hard to pinpoint, because depending on how much time I have, it's all of it or none of it. I really enjoy the planning and the researching and finding photos, but sometimes I also just like to jump at it and just go ahead and you know, if it's a simple costume, if I miss a detail, it's gonna be fine. I think my least favorite is always cutting the pattern. I like making the pattern, but cutting it out is a pain. No. All of them? None of them. It depends on the costume too, so a bit of a mix. A lot of the times I really like doing shoes. So yeah, I think that was it. I hope that was interesting for you to watch. I also hope that this will not be the last AMA I do. I feel like it's very funny. But thank you very much to everyone who took their time to ask me a question and consider what to ask me. I feel like I had some really good questions in there and you guys want to know some interesting stuff. So thank you for making these guys work. Besides that, I want to tell you guys Happy New Year's. You will definitely see me around. I will be on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram all the time. So follow me there for everyday life and cosplay life and hair things and stuff. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.